On today's video, let's finally tell the story of Lost Kingdom 102, how the diplomacy worked out and how we even got here. This is going to be a long video. Heads up already, I don't want to leave you out of any of the details that were brought to me by multiple kingdoms. Every single of the 8 kingdoms had something to add to this story. There is details from every single one of the 8 kingdoms in this Lost Kingdom in the video. It's long, it's painful, it's annoying, and it'll upset some people, and others might see something different. Sit back, enjoy the video, drop a like on it, and of course go grab some popcorn, because this is gonna be a lot of drama, a lot of misconception. All started with good intentions that ended up being very blown out of proportion. So yeah, let's get on with it. Hey there YouTube, welcome back to Gekko Gaming. Today, the most dreaded video I've ever made, honestly. I really don't want to be making this video because I know that a lot of you are either going to get mad, dislike, leave nasty comments, unsubscribe, and all that good stuff. It's usually something I shouldn't do, but I owe you guys this story and I promised to you, so here it is. I want to give you a couple of things that you should know ahead of time before we start. One of them is that this video is long, and I really hope you sit through and listen to the story. And if you're someone who's just gonna rage midway, go, you're wrong, you're dumb, JWM propaganda, and leave now. If you cannot sit and listen through something without blowing a fuse, then it's probably not a good idea for you to watch this video. The second thing you should know is that I am a JWM member. If I don't make content, I don't get kicked out of JWM. They don't require of me to make videos. They don't require of me to say things. They don't demand or even ask. Actually, what they do ask is don't make a video about this. Don't talk about that. Keep that in secret. This is our strategic advantage. Trust me when I tell you, for me, JWM is home. It's an alliance that I play with. I don't just do content. And this doesn't come from me. This comes from leadership as well. They see me as part of the team, not as the reporter who's among the people of the team. The final thing you should know is that my relationship with Black Feather, the leader of JWM, is very interesting because he understands my priorities. And he always helps me to get the information and content. He's been helping me to get into certain alliances, to cast their Ark of Osiris's, and so forth and so on. He is very supportive and helpful, but he also knows where I stand when it comes to not wanting to be involved, not wanting to know, not wanting to affect things. And he respects that too, which is why I was kept in the loop as things were happening, but I was not kept in the loop on things that are in the air, just things that are more concrete. So let's start talking about this Lost Kingdom. A few weeks before Lost Kingdom was announced, Blackfeather and I sat and talked about the future of KVK. And he expressed a couple of things very vividly. The first one being, he does not want to be part of another Lost Kingdom Season 2. If it comes to another 8 Super Imperium kingdoms at each other, we don't want to be part of it. Not because, you guys are scared of fighting. You guys are looking to save your troops. You guys are always looking how to fight the least. Anyone who says that is more of a troll and a hater than someone who actually knows what the heck is going on, because people are dying here to get kills, and now they can't. The reason we said it, and the reason I agree with this, is that the whole KVK, as it was in Season 2, is meant for Imperium kingdoms to kill each other and cause each other to drop off of Imperium to allow new kingdoms to become Imperium. Now, when you're the bottom 30 of the top 32, that happens quite a bit. The bottom 15 of the top 32, so places, I guess, 17 through 32 in the rankings, have changed quite a bit since Imperium started. But the top 10 barely moved anything. And what Lilith is doing is making us kill each other. And we don't want that. Kingdom 93, 103, 71, 157, 196, 46, 59, everybody in here. 149. I forgot one more. I apologize. All of these guys built kingdoms that are massive and big, and it's their making, and they don't want it to die. And Lilith does want to kill it. And so that was point number one. And point number two was we really, really don't want to pair up with 93 and 103. 93 and 103 were both kingdoms that JWM considered allies. And leadership of both kingdoms agreed of allies. There were terms, there were agreements between all three kingdoms, with like the two kingdoms with Kingdom 59. For us to meet with 93 and 103 means having to pick between two friends. Now, granted, the people inside Kingdom 93 are more anti-Kingdom 59 than they are pro-Kingdom 59 because you have a lot of individuals who came out of Kingdom 58 with a lot of vengeance and salt from losing Season 1. Some of these people came from Kingdom 59 as well. Others who left JWM for 93 for certain reasons. So there's plenty of haters within Kingdom 93, which is okay. It is what it is. It's how it's supposed to be. So for the thing that you should know though is that while Kingdom 93 is an ally, Kingdom 103 is also a friend. Kingdom 103 is part of a smaller circle of kingdoms that are close friends who talk to each other almost on a daily basis. And so it's how Season 2 came to be. As soon as we saw 86, 103, 157, all three are part of this small group of friends, that wasn't even a question. And again, right here, we had a problem. You have to pick between the two. And so when we saw who the opposition is in KVK, I messaged Blackfeather and I'm like, yo, so who's our ally? And he goes, I'm working on something. I'll let you know. And then a week went by. After a week went by, he told me, listen, we are making the coalition. What is the coalition? The idea of the coalition was pretty simple. We refuse to fight each other and kill each other's kingdoms in such massive way. If it's a 1v1 between Imperiums, it's much easier to recover and survive a lost kingdom loss than even a 4v4 or a 6v2 or a 5v3. We want to protest, first of all, the situation. However, how can you get 93 and 103 together in the same room? Those two, for those of you who don't know, are huge rivals. They've talked smack to each other for months. They've threatened, they've declared, they've done every possible thing to make it very clear they dislike each other very, 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 very much. And so the option of having them as allies was never even considered. Not because of anything but the fact that that rivalry is too big for it to happen. And so the plan was to make a third coalition who would consist of kingdoms that do not want to get involved in the rivalry of 93 and 103, but also don't want to limit them. So the idea was for the coalition to be strong enough to be able to uphold a 1v1 between 93 and 103. And then from there, once one of the two wins that 1v1, rewards would have been discussed and so forth and so on. Now, really quickly, before we start, you should know, one of the things that you don't know is that the winner of the 1v1 would have gotten the ziggurat. The winner of the 1v1 would have gotten a big portion of all the rewards in KVK. And the coalition, the plan for it, was to have access to the zones, to be able to tap the buildings and the ziggurat as well. So what I mean by tap, I mean that you have some of these quest alliance achievements which require you just to occupy a building. So the idea was for everybody to be able to occupy and then move away. So the coalition would go into zone 7, pick up the ziggurat, stick around for some barbarians. At the end of the event, the winner of the 1v1 gets the ziggurat as well as a bunch of other rewards. This is something you guys don't know about, but I jumped a little bit ahead. So how does the coalition come to be? As I mentioned before, Kingdom 157 is a close friend. And so 157 were on board pretty quickly. And for the record, I'm pretty much not going to mention them anymore because they were the only kingdom, as far as I know, that really just said, okay, what are we, like, we're not about this life. What are we doing? Who are we fighting? We're ready. So Kingdom 157, shout out to you all because you guys are the chillest one out of them all, truthfully. Couple of other things you should know. Kingdom 103 came in as friends with Kingdom 71. Anywhere 103 goes, 71 goes. They are a team. And the other thing you should know is that apparently Kingdom 149 also has some people in Kingdom 93, and these two kingdoms are also very good friends. Now here's the thing. The coalition has to be strong enough to be able to beat any of the two of the 1v1 in case you need it. How can Kingdom 59 and 157 go up against either 93 or 103? And how can we make sure that a 1v1 is upheld? We needed more allies. The first ally that came on board was Kingdom 196. Now, Kingdom 196 is the most surprising kingdom for me. I left Kingdom 196 because when I was there, I saw a kingdom that went from a very diplomatic group family type of kingdom to a very dictator, power, ego, trash talk kind of kingdom. And I wasn't about that life. And I knew that the members who made Legends Gaming in Kingdom 196 never wanted that to be. So when Blackfeather said he wants to get in touch with 196, I was like, good luck with that. And I was shocked to find out how much Kingdom 196 matured as a kingdom. And what I mean by matured, I more mean like evolved. It's not matured like, oh, they were kids before now, but I mean more like they evolved out of what they were. Their leader, Gigaman, stopped playing the game. Night King took over as the king of Kingdom 196. Night King and I had a very nasty conversation before I left. I told him very, very nasty things. I went from telling him he's a puppet of Giga to really, I said a lot of nasty things to him. But I feel like there were things that needed to be said. And I hope that it helped him a little bit see the wrongs in the way that was Kingdom 196. And then I was told Kingdom 196 is an ally. And when I was told of this, I asked Blackfeather if I can go talk to Night King. And I talked to him and I'm like, yo, what? You guys don't want revenge? And his answer was, we voted. When he said we voted, I was like, wow. So Kingdom 196 evolved into wanting to be more than what it was before. And they haven't lost that much power. They did have a small migration happen, but they did manage to hold it together. And now that kingdom is such a better kingdom as a whole. And they decided that they don't want to get involved between 93 and 103, straight up. And so they joined the coalition. Now the question is, who comes in next? The biggest problems were, how can we ensure the coalition has enough strength to go up against anyone else? For that, we had a few kingdoms that needed to be involved. Now, 71 couldn't be involved because they are friends of 103. And 149, believe it or not, were supposed to be in the coalition, I think. I understand that they wanted to be. I understand that there were conversations about it. But the reason they never made it was Kingdom 46. Now, I need to stop here and give you guys a small disclaimer. Kingdom 46 is led by a content creator named Laguna. Now, Laguna's problem is that, turns out, in hindsight, he held his cards very close to his heart. He told Kingdom 96, trust me, Kingdom 46, trust me, and the leadership of Kingdom 46, trust me, and they did. What we found out in hindsight was that none of them were aware of any of the decisions. And what we also found out in hindsight is something we're going to talk about later. I actually decided not to say it right now. We'll get there. So we started talking to Kingdom, by we, I mean the coalition, Kingdom 59, 157, and 196. Now that's the coalition. And I went to talk to Kingdom 46 to see what they're thinking about. 46 seemed to be a natural ally of 93. At this point, the way it seemed to have supposed to work was 59, 103, 71, and 157 versus 196, 93, 149, and 46. Right now, the way it worked out was that we took one of theirs away. I'm not saying to here yet, to the coalition. And now we need to take another one from them. 46, we're on board, but there were a few conditions. Two of these conditions are important for you to understand. The first one was no Kingdom 149. I understood that it was just, I guess, either not trusting them or having an issue. I don't know what the motivation is. But essentially, Kingdom 46 did not feel comfortable aligning themselves with Kingdom 149. And when we have to pick between the two, Kingdom 46 is a stronger power. We didn't even know how the map looked like then. We didn't know anything. This is even before that Kingdom mail. And so 46 agreed. Now, the one thing that I mentioned to Blackfeather as soon as he told me the story is I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I want to make a video explaining this. It is massive that we managed to cause a situation when there's a third party in a KVK and we're standing up to Lilith. This is awesome. And so I was going to make a video. And as part of the agreement of the coalition, they agreed that they trust me enough to make that video to convey a lot of the information, as well as the terms and agreements between the coalition itself. And those terms and agreements also included, the fact that the coalition works as one. We became one, not one kingdom does anything. All kingdoms make the decisions together. It has to be unanimous decisions. And that we are a pack. All that I said about their rewards, all that I said about enforcing the 1v1, at this point, 71 and 149 were out of the picture. Now, if 149 said, we want to fight we want to fight with 93, and 71 said, we want to fight with 103. 103 and 93 agreed that a 2v2 is okay. It would have probably happened. But the goal was for nobody to complain that your ally was bigger than mine or something like that. The idea was 1v1. No one can contest it. You guys 1v1. One of you lost. One of you won. That's it. That was the plan. So as part of what was supposed to happen, I was supposed to make a video. That video was supposed to come out, that one that you guys know about that never came out. And when Laguna heard about it, one of his demands was that he makes a video before me. Now, granted, I shouldn't have let that happen. Granted, I should have made the video. But when Blackfeather came to me and said, this is what Kingdom 46 wants, do you agree? I agreed. I agreed because I believed in the coalition and I believed in what we were doing, and I felt like this was the right thing to do. And then Laguna doesn't post a video. And then 12 hours go by. And JWM are on the map already. And we're on the map and we know how it looks like and what's going on. And our people are picking up their swords. Every single person is out there on that stone, sharpening up the sword, shining up the shield, putting their arrows in their bags, getting ready for war. And they're getting antsy AF. They are getting so antsy to know what the heck is going on. Who are we demolishing or losing to? And so a kingdom mail was written. This kingdom mail, which I don't have a screenshot of, if you guys please could send me a link on Discord or something to the kingdom mail, I'll post it in a comment down below and I'll pin that comment so you can read it if you want. Our kingdom mail was written by JWM to Kingdom 59. that the idea behind it was Gekko posts the video with everything explained to anyone who wants to see it. It'll also include a section for our people to kind of try to calm them down. And then the Kingdom Mail was made to convey a little bit of a personal approach to what we're doing. When that Kingdom Mail came out, it was written with a little bit of humor in a language that was meant for warriors who are standing there, beating on their chests with their shields while holding a sword ready to go. And we have to figure out a way to make them keep beating on their chests but drop their sword. And so the Kingdom Mail was a little arrogant. The Kingdom Mail was a little funny. The Kingdom Mail had a little bit of humor in it. And it wasn't meant to be diplomatically correct. It was meant to be for our people, for our culture. Just like your Kingdom Mails look very different in other kingdoms. I can tell you Kingdom 279, I mean, man, Ross wrote a mail with references to movies and Team Kitty and Team Not Kitty and lemons and a poem. And if you guys look at the Kingdom Mails from Kingdom 279, you guys are like, these guys are hysterical, by the way, but it's like, this is not a diplomatically correct place. And then the community took that Kingdom Mail and made a charade out of it. And essentially what they did was to trigger to trigger everybody. The trolls of Facebook came out and essentially called out 93 and 103 for many different things. And those two kingdoms went into Raging Bulls mode. What I mean by Raging Bulls mode is that they saw red and they stopped. They didn't even, there was no way to talk to them. There was no thought behind it. It was all rage, pride, and other things. Everything got hurt. Grab Some Popcorn triggered people as disrespectful. How the hell grab some popcorn and watch the fight is disrespectful? If we said don't look at the fight, it's more disrespectful than grab some popcorn and enjoy the fight. But Raging Bulls came out raging. Kingdom 93 went on fire. Kingdom 103 went on fire. To the point where those two actually said, we are willing to put our differences aside to teach the egotistic guys a lesson. So two kingdoms who had the biggest rivalry in Rise of Kingdoms for one Kingdom Mail that was not meant for even them. It was meant for the people of Kingdom 59. And 5 or 6 internet trolls triggering you, that is all it took for the two biggest kingdoms in the game with the biggest rivalry in the game to put their differences aside. And all of a sudden, the coalition is like, well, that Kingdom Mail shouldn't have come out before Gekko's video. That Kingdom Mail should have been thought of a little bit better maybe phrase a few things a little bit differently. But it was not meant to be screenshot and put all over Facebook. That's not the point of it. Just like half of the Kingdom Mails I see on Facebook that Billy wrote, that Lady Dragon wrote, these guys don't write Kingdom Mails for the diplomacy of it. And those of you who think that Kingdom Mails now, the game evolved, someone told me the game evolved to a point where now Kingdom Mails have to be diplomatically correct. I'm sorry, that's a load of BS. How people run their own kingdoms is not up to the community to pick. And so all of a sudden, the coalition's like, well, turns out we're now going up against 93 and 103. What? The whole point was not to pick between the two. And now we're going up against both? The whole point was to attempt to hold on to the little bit of a relationship there was with them and to appreciate that relationship. And as part of that relationship, put ourselves to the side and not fight and protest against this Do you really think Kingdom 59 would have enjoyed going through the whole Lost Kingdom without fighting? If you think that, you have no clue what you're talking about. Because if your kingdom is willing to go through a whole KVK without fighting, then something's wrong in your kingdom and in any other kingdom that is willing to go through a whole KVK without fighting. Everybody comes in here to fight. That's why we're playing this damn game. But every now and then, you have to take a hit. And the hit we wanted to take was to sit on the side to protest Lilith rather than pick an ally to be friends with and make the other one an enemy. After that Kingdom Mail came out, there was no talking to anyone. And then Kingdom 93 came out with a very bold statement. They officially declared war on Kingdom 46. And we're like, what? What happened? And then we find out that it turns out that Laguna didn't make the video because he was playing both sides. He was trying to get a better deal from Kingdom 93, essentially. And doing some other things, which I'm not going to go into details. And I'm really not happy with having to throw Laguna under the bus the way I'm doing. But there is no way to tell the story without pinning the actions and consequences on the individual that was in charge of them, and you'll understand why in a second. When we find out that really Laguna was double tapping, trying to get the best deal available, that's when the coalition, as a coalition, decided Kingdom 46 is kicked out. So now what you see is 3 versus 4 and 1. Now, remember when I told you that Kingdom 103 was not just an ally. They are part of a much smaller group of friends. Now, there were some issues between 103 and 59 last KVK, which nobody really knows about, but there were. And so the relationship was already not that great. And you add to that all of this, they went crazy mad. But when the time came, the small group of friends came together and said, we don't turn on each other, no matter what. And if we turn, whoever turns on any of us is not part of us. It's not who we are. We have to be better. We have to do better. And that is what brought Kingdom 103 out of Raging Bulls mode. It was at that point that they realized, by conversations with Blackfeather as well as with the friends and all that, that the intentions behind all this were purely allowing you two to hash out your rivalry, and the rest of us, leave us alone, we will protest. And so they went back into a more rational head space. And at that point, they had already agreed to ally up with 93. Now, they did not want to betray the small group of friends. And so the whole backstabbing idea came to be. Now, there are internal things of kingdoms that I'm not going to talk about too much that are important for this video. But what I will tell you is that the motivations behind all this were never about rewards by anyone. Kingdom 59 last KVK took 1 fortress, and by the way, Kingdom 59 took 2 fortresses, 1 JWM, 1 BNW. So 2 kingdoms picked up 20 Wuzetian sculptures, 2 alliances picked up 20 Wuzetian sculptures, and that's it. That's all Kingdom 59 got. So anyone who goes, all they want is rewards, and they want all the stuff without the fighting, you guys have no clue what you're talking about. You're only hating. For Kingdom 103, the backstab is not as significant. I'm not going to go into the details as to why, but the decision of backstabbing has some future implications where, in their case, that future implication might not apply. And all honesty, you got Kingdom 93 and everyone else was not supposed to find out about this until much, much, much later on. It actually kind of ruined KVK because Kingdom 103 would have come out guns blazing if they knew 103 was with them. And that really, from my understanding, was the plan, to be able to actually fight 93. When 93 found out that it's a 6v2, they changed, I believe they changed their plan for a different plan that will allow them to be part of a 6v2. At a 4v4, I believe you wouldn't have seen all the defensive forts that we saw on their Zone 5. So here we are at a 6v2. We are at a 6v2 where the whole point was we want to protest against having Imperium fighting King Imperium only. We want to allow this rivalry to finally come to be. We want to make sure that as many kingdoms as they can enjoy this KVK and build new relationships and maintain old relationships along the way. That was it. Those were the intentions, quite literally. Any of you who think that, oh, you have no idea, these guys are actually behind their back, no. And I'll tell you what turned the tides. A lot of you think that Kingdom 50, and I saw it in Kingdom Mails also from Kingdom 93. A lot of you think that Kingdom 59 were bossing people around and stuff like that. Well, I'm here to tell you that not one decision in this KVK was done by Kingdom 59 with the exception of allying with 157. Because guess what? Once the coalition came to be, everybody had a fair say. And the pivotal moment of this story, which you should know about, which I completely forgot about earlier on, but I need to revisit it, is that Kingdom 93 essentially were in control this whole time. Kingdom 93 were the only ones who declared war on anyone. Kingdom 93 were the only ones who tried to make things differently. And Kingdom 103 also, by the way, wanted the alliance with 93 to show to Kingdom 59 at the time of Raging Bulls mode. But the thing that really made this a 6v2 was Kingdom 93 declaring war on Kingdom 59. Kingdom 59 will not stand by while others declare war on them. Kingdom 59 never declared war on 93. As a matter of fact, Kingdom 59 never even considered fighting 93 up until the point where 93 turned their sword on us. The moment you turn your sword on us, you need to understand there are consequences. And the consequences were that Kingdom 59 went from protesting, not wanting to fight, wanting to allow the rivalry to go by, to F you, let's go. Any of you who think that it's cowardice to fight a 6v2, you guys are a joke. Because every single Lost Kingdom is either a 5v3 or a 4v4 with a backstab, or even a 4v4 where it ends up being a 4v2 and then a 4v2. It's never a fair fight. You'll never have a fair fight. It doesn't exist. We tried to simulate somewhat of a fair fight with a 1v1, and even that didn't work. Is it strategically smart to be in a 6v2? If you don't care for rewards, sure, why not? Sure. I mean, hell, first occupation of Pass 5s did not go to JWM. It went to, I believe, IWM did it, or BMW. This pass was 196s up until this was secured, and then they left. JWM really never even had a pass available, and we still don't. We still don't. So if it was about rewards, no comments. So this is how we got to where we got. My personal opinion on all this is pretty straightforward. I am in Kingdom 93 with a jumper because I really want to highlight what they are and who they are. Because what you guys see on Facebook and what you guys see on Osiris League and all that is not who Kingdom 93 really are. Kingdom 93 are a lot more than that. They have a lot of good people, a lot of good leadership, a lot of good things. They are really, really, really awesome kingdom. And I do want to highlight them more. But the one thing that was very clear from the beginning was that it's super easy to trigger them, and it's super easy to hurt the pride. And when the pride was hurt, people completely lost it, to the point where there was no coming back from the things that were done. I also think in hindsight, there were things that Kingdom 59 could have done better. That Kingdom Mail could have potentially been written differently, but it was not the way the thinking behind it, as well as the whole point of having my video come out first, was all part of this. And it was all a crazy situation of misunderstandings and mistimings of things that caused massive, massive drama. I think that if it's so easy to trigger anyone, then that's your biggest weakness. If I can trigger you to make a bad decision, not that I said Kingdom 93 made a bad decision, but for the record, I believe that they could have won that 1v1. I think that 103 is super strong, but I believe that Kingdom 93 had the edge in the 1v1. But the moment that pride was hurt, nothing mattered. And add to that the haters of Kingdom 59 in 93, and add to that the Facebook trolls where 93 has a huge presence. Things didn't work really well. I don't think Kingdom 93 and 59 will ever be allies again. As a matter of fact, I know we are enemy number 1 for them, and they are already talking about winning KVK Season 4 against us, which, okay, sure. We don't even know what Season 4 is going to be and when it's going to be, but sure. I think that it's a shame that we didn't get the coalition to work the way it should have worked. With all this being said, I really hope Kingdom 93 don't hate me. They probably are already. But I do hope that the jumper will be able to bring good content out of Kingdom 93. I haven't been on it for a while because I didn't want there to be any conflict of interest. I'd also hope that, you know, Light and Darkness is much better. We should and could face Kingdom 93, and if it happens, bring it. But yeah, one thing I think I left out, which is crucial to know, is that Kingdom 46 had some issues after they found out the whole Laguna thing. I believe that the leadership in there would have made other decisions if they knew about the things that were going on. And I feel bad, not only for 46, that is not Laguna, but also for 149, who got screwed out of the coalition because of this. I am glad that Kingdom 46 ended up being part of this, and the reason they ended up being part of this is because at the end of the day, the whole plan was not to get anyone locked in and messed up and not enjoying their KVK. And also, the leadership in Kingdom 46 are fantastic people. And so the fact that Laguna made a few very bad decisions and tried to play a very, very, very weird game, which from my understanding he still is, I don't get it, but it is what it is. I'm really glad Kingdom 46 were part of this. They had a crucial role. And I'm very glad to have met a bunch of new people as well as old friends along the way. The kingdom that I really feel bad for is Kingdom 149 because they really did not deserve this. They really didn't. And I feel bad for everybody who got involved in this drama because there shouldn't be all this drama. Man, let's play the game and have fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. It's a very, very long video. Anyway, I'm Gekko. I'm out of here. Thank you very much for watching this very long 42-minute video. It might come out a little bit late. I apologize for that. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, questions, anything, leave me a comment down below and let me know. I do need to mention Lu Chang, I believe was his name, asked me a question on Facebook on the post that I wrote. He asked if all 8 kingdoms, and I was going to put the screenshot on the screen, but I'm too lazy. Sorry. If there was a possibility, would you have had the coalition with all 8 kingdoms? I believe I answered this already, but regardless, If everybody would have been in agreement, then probably. But I don't think that question, that hypothetical ever came up because we really didn't think that there would be a way for 93 and 103 to put their differences aside. I really did. And neither did Blackfeather, and neither did anyone really. We were all in shock when it was like, whoa, these guys are allied? All that from grab some popcorn? Damn. Anyway, I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Enjoy the rest of your week and take care. Have a good one. Peace.